Good morning, children. Today is my lecture 6 class under gravity. Okay. So in the previous class we have completed universal law of gravitation, right? And today let me go for the next part in this, where in the under universal law of gravitation, in the first class we have learned the magnitude of force. In the last previous lecture, I have explained vector form of universal law of gravitation, right? And also have given some many concepts to how to write the expressions with the help of the vectors. I have given three equations, one based on unit vector, another based on full vector, and the third one using position vector. So be comfortable to go through all those things. It is very easy. You need not worry it is difficult. If you understand the things correctly, you can write very easy. And maximum times you expect them in object type question. So better be prepared for it. Okay. Now today I just go for the next part in this, where I want to say about the value of G, which was determined experimentally. Let me explain this first, then I explain also the concept of gravitational force, how it is the one evidences to prove the one gravitational force which is useful in physics, and again I explain some of the characteristics of gravitational force. Okay, this is what we learn under this class. So first let me start the determination of universal gravitational constant by experiment. By using experiment, we will learn this. So please observe the determination of, it is my lecture 6, it is under gravitation. Okay, in this determination, of universal law of gravitation. Universal law of gravitation, symbol is capital G. This you already know this. This determination, please observe. You are already known in the previous class. At the age of 23, Newton was observing the one apple falling from the tree, which is falling towards the earth, and due to which he was inspired to do the experiments, and finally he arrived at universal law of gravitation according to Newton. In the early 1665 he saw that. Please observe. Early in 1665 he was inspired by observing the one apple falling to the ground. After observing that, he has done various experiments, and finally he has completed all the experiments, and finally observed the one universal law of gravitation, and he has written in his book, the famous book Principia, in the year 1687. Right? This you know. After that, he has given the statement and he has given the explanation of universal law of gravitation. But after one century, that is in the year 1798, after completion of 100 years, an English chemist, please observe, an English chemist by name Henry Cavendish. He observed the value of G, and he was about to do the experiment in the laboratory. What is the reason behind this means? The one using astronomical data alone, it is not comfortable to determine G. So only by using astronomical data, it is not comfortable to determine only the G. Let me do this in the laboratory, that experiment, and he thought about that, and due to which he has done the experiment in the laboratory by using a simple, that is nothing but a very sensitive balance by name torsion balance. Please observe, it is a very sensitive balance. This is very sensitive. By using that torsion balance, he has done the experiment in the laboratory and found the G value is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 nm to the power of minus, that is 2 nm to the power of plus 2 kg to the power of minus 2. This is what he determined in the laboratory. To determine this, he has taken the condition using torsion balance. Very sensitive balance it is. And by using this, you please observe, he has taken two small spheres. Because earlier you know, for point masses it is true. Due to which he has taken first two small spheres, where he has taken two small spheres. Let me say this is M1, this is M2, which is attached to the wooden plank. This is attached to the wooden plank, which is of length L. Right? He has taken two small lead spheres. Please observe, he has taken two lead spheres. That is two small lead spheres. And these are placed on a wooden plank at the ends. At the ends he has attached these masses. And the length of this wooden plank was explained in terms of L. Okay. After using this, he has arranged the one very thin thread. This thin thread attached to the rigid support, which is attached to this rigid support. This is the one made up of elastic fiber. You can say this is made up of elastic fiber, which is named as quartz. Elastic fiber, which is made up of quartz. Okay, and this is attached to the rigid support. This is a rigid support. So he has taken two small spheres which is attached to the wooden plank at the ends, and this wooden plank is connected to the one thread, and that thread is connected to the rigid support. This thread which is made up of the one elastic fiber, which is particularly specially made up of quartz. And please remember, these elastic materials will be having some spring constants. So using that spring constant, we will also calculate the things. Okay, so different elastic materials will have different spring constant. Particularly he has taken quartz. By knowing this, he has taken the one value of spring constant, where I can say that is the spring constant is known of quartz. Right? Okay. Now he has taken two more spheres, big spheres, and those two spheres he has attached to them in opposite direction. Please observe, if this is the one big sphere here, let me say this is capital M. One more sphere he has attached here. This is in opposite directions. Please observe, this is attached to this side and this is attached to this side. Attached to this side. This is a very big sphere. He has taken here. This is capital. So two big spheres. He has taken two big spheres and they are attached on the either, that is nothing but on opposite sides. They are attached to this, and this is arranged to some the ones, that is condition where you can say here this is attached to this, where you can say this is attached here. This will be arranged like this. Okay, two big spheres are attached to the ends of the one masses and always these small spheres are attracting to this big spheres. Please observe, I have written the arrowhead. These small spheres are attracting to the big spheres. I have shown the arrow mark. What does this arrow indicates? The small spheres are attracting to the one big spheres. Okay. Now what happens here? Whenever these two are attached like this, they are attracting, they are brought nearer to this, due to which there is an attraction between them. So naturally you know there arises a force of attraction between them. So between them there arises a force of attraction. Force of attraction. And these are arranged in such a way in the horizontal spheres. They are arranged in the horizontal spheres. So they used to rotate like this. As and when they bring closer, nothing but whenever there arises an attraction, this wooden plank starts rotating. So please observe, wooden plank will start rotating. This wooden plank starts rotating. As and when this wooden plank starts rotating, this thread, thin thread which is made up of quartz starts twisting. This starts twisting. This starts twisting. So the nothing but the one quartz fiber starts twisting. So when does it happen? Only when these two big spheres are arranged on either sides. Naturally the small spheres will be attracting to the big spheres, nothing but huge spheres. As and when they start attracting, naturally there arises a force of attraction between these two masses. And as and when there arises a force of attraction, this wooden plank starts rotating. This starts rotating. And at the same time, this one, nothing but the string which is made up of quartz, that is the thread which is made up of quartz, starts twisting. So this will start twisting. Up to the one point, it starts twisting means where you can observe the one twisting where it can do nothing but this will possess the restoring torque. This will become the one due to rotational motion, it possesses restoring torque. This starts a deflecting torque. So please observe, this wooden plank possesses deflecting torque. Deflecting torque, and this will produce restoring torque. Restoring torque. So up to what time it will be rotating? These two will be rotating when once it becomes equilibrium. When it attains equilibrium, you should remember in rotational equilibrium. In rotational equilibrium, whenever it attains equilibrium condition, whenever you say it attains equilibrium means when deflecting torque will be equal to the one restoring torque. Will be equal to restoring torque. So please observe, I said there arises one rotation. This observes the twisting. This starts rotating, I said, due to which this comes under rotational motion chapter. You learn all those things. So when once these two become equilibrium, whenever the possess rotational equilibrium, naturally deflecting torque will be equal to restoring torque. Let me, for your convenience, write torque symbol is represented by tau. This also write it tau for your to come across a inconvenience. I just write this is tau dash for your reference. Torque is represented by symbol tau, and this is also torque is tau, but I write this is tau, this is tau dash. What do you mean by this means? This tau means torque. This also you learn in the mechanics chapter, where torque means always it is a product of force into displacement. Force into displacement, I can say. Please remember, this is product of force into displacement. displacement. So I write for this tau due to reflecting torque from the wooden plank, I write F into L. What is this tau dash? It is nothing but restoring torque. This arises due to this quartz fiber, where it is due to twisting you get this. So twisting means you get, this is nothing but where it is called C into theta. What is this C called as means? Where C is called as restoring couple. Restoring couple. So you can also write K. You can write K also. We are ready to write K. What is this K means? This is a constant for this string, where it is nothing but called as spring constant we get. This you can also write. So here as and when I write tau dash equal to C theta, where C is equal to tau dash by theta, you can also represent this by K, where K is equal to tau dash by theta. What is this K means? Spring constant. We already know the spring constant of quartz fiber. By using these conditions you can get, or by using the one spring constant you can write for K, right? This is none other than spring constant you can say. What is this restoring couple? This restoring couple is nothing but the one, it is the one restoring torque for angle of twist per unit, angle of twist per unit. It is the one angle of twist I can say. This is restoring torque is nothing but it is the one angle of twist. Angle of twist I can say, this is what you can say the one restoring couple. Now you got this C into theta. What is this F? There lies a force of attraction between these two I said. Already in the previous class we know where according to Newton's law of universal law of gravitation, where F is equal to G m1 m2 by that is r square we have learnt. Alright. Here let me tell you for your convenience. Here this is the one from capital M to small m. There is a small distance we have. For a reference I write this is symbol D. For a reference the distance between them is symbol is D. Here for the one mass is capital M, another is small is, that is small m and you have. So let me write this is G m and also small m and capital M. And two masses are very small spheres I have. Let me say where m1 is equal to m2. Let me take for your convenience this is m. And what is this? Nothing but where here this is two small spheres I said. Here in this case where I represent this is nothing but one is capital M. This sphere is of capital M. Here also we have capital M here. Here also we have m2. So for your convenience this capital M is there, and due to which I can rewrite it as according to using this expression where F is equal to G. Here instead of using both masses are same, each masses are having same mass, due to which I take this is small m, and what is this one? Capital M, and let me write the distance between them is a D square. Okay, by using the help of this in the last class we have written this condition according to these two masses. Okay, so let me write this is one condition for F. So this is G capital M small m by D square into L. Now this is C theta. Okay, now to equate for G I write capital G is equal to, that is G C theta into D square divided by, that is capital M into small m into L. This is the one expression we have here. Very simple concept it is, where this deflecting torque will become equal to restoring torque whenever it attains rotational equilibrium. Due to which we are using this expression here this. And now please observe, what is this capital C? This is C. What I have written C here. Let me write this itself is C. What is this C called as? This is called as restoring couple. You can also say this string will be having spring constant that can be calculated by using this formula, or you can also know familiarly with the quartz spring constant, you can use this C. That is spring constant, one value is C. What is theta? This will be having a deflection. It will be rotating for some angle. This theta can be measured by using Lampant scale arrangement. This is the one you have, Lampant scale arrangement. When you come across in higher classes, you will observe this. It's a very sensitive balance I said. So accurately we can calculate by using Lampant scale arrangement. This is theta. Okay. And remember this length. What is this length? The distance between this 1, 2. That is M1 and M2. Where it is nothing but called as the wooden plank length. That wooden plank length is accurately taken as it is 1.8 meter. Okay, this one length is taken as wooden plank length is 1.8 meter. And you know this capital M, big sphere, and this big sphere which is of 158 kg and having diameter and diameter is 30 centimeter. This one he has selected in his experiment. What is a small m? This small m he has taken 0.73 kg and at the same time he has taken the diameter which is of 5.1 centimeter. That point was selected in his experiment. So small m we know, capital M we know, along with the diameter and the length of the wooden plank we know here, and this the distance between the two, whatever the distance he has placed, using that he has taken the distance. At the same time C and theta are known, and theta by using Lampant scale arrangement he found the one value is G is equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 nm square kg to the power of minus 2. Okay, and this deflection accurately has observed where it is rotating, it is twisting, and that is rotating by using Lampant scale arrangement he has observed this. Okay, so this is the one experiment you have to remember here, where it is the one determination of universal of gravitation, and finally found this by using this. But in 1942, where again they have done the experiment, in the year 1942, again they found whether this experiment is accurately correct or not by using modified form method. Modified form method, they found it was found accurate. Please observe, after doing this experiment again recently in 1942, they found by using modified form method whatever it has done is correct. So please observe. In the previous class I used to write capital G value and you were astonished to see this value. How she has written? This was not done as it is. It was done by experimental method by a scientist by name, where he is a chemist. He is a chemist. He is from English, that is English chemist. He is in the early 1798. He has done this experiment. By his name is Henry Cavendish. So please remember, early in the 1665 Newton was observed the apple falling to the ground. By using that he was inspired to do the experimental data. Collections he has done. By the help of Kepler he has done reduced the one Newton's universal law of gravitation, and also finally in the year 1687 he has written the book. There he has explained the statement along with final expressions. Okay, and that expression again you have learnt. One is nothing but called as the magnitude of force. At the same time you have learnt vector form. After learning all this, a scientist by name Henry Cavendish, he has done the experiment because the reason to do this experiment because the astronomical data were not alone, they are not sufficient to explain the things. So all the time they are not useful. So let me do this experiment in the laboratory, he has thought, and he has done the experiment in the laboratory by using torsion balance. By using torsion balance, right? And that torsion balance is very sensitive. Accurately you can do the experiment, and due to which he has selected this balance. Okay, and in his experiment he has taken first again two small spheres. This M1 and M2 are they are both are same masses. So you can write this is one small sphere, this is one small sphere I can say, which is of mass m itself. You need not worry, both are represented by m itself. And they are attached to wooden plank, and that wooden plank is again attached to the one thread which is connected to the rigid support. This is the one rigid support, this is the one thread, very small thin thread it has used, which is made up of elastic fiber, particularly quartz. Okay, and it is attached to the rigid support. After connecting this, again he has taken two huge spheres, means nothing but big spheres, and those big spheres he has attached in such a way on either sides, nothing but opposite sides. So one of the one mass is attached here means he has arranged them in opposite side, due to which this will form an horizontal circle. These all the four spheres will produce an horizontal circle. So this, remember, this all the four spheres move in a horizontal circle, due to which he has arranged in such a way, nothing but in the dumbbell shape. Okay. Now remember, after arranging this, he has observed when these two masses are attached close to here, there is a small distance between them. At the same time, observe this small sphere is attracting to the big sphere, due to which there is an attraction, due to which there arises a force of attraction between them. And when once the force of attraction arises, naturally this wooden plank starts rotating. This starts rotating. When once this wooden plank starts rotating, this elastic fiber, nothing but quartz fiber, starts twisting. It starts twisting. So after getting this, he observed this will be rotating and this will be twisting, and this you know, that is how it has taken place. How much time will it twist? It will be rotating, twisting, and this will be rotating until it attains equilibrium. And when does it attain equilibrium? This, remember, it exhibits rotational equilibrium. So in rotational, whenever it attains equilibrium, there is a special condition we have in whenever it attains rotational equilibrium, always remember deflecting torque will be equal to restoring torque. That is what you observe. Deflecting torque equal to restoring torque. So torque is represented by symbol tau. This symbol you call it as a tau. Torque is represented by symbol tau. So I have written tau. But for your reference, I have given this tau and this is tau dash. This tau means nothing but product of force into perpendicular distance. You can say, when it gets a torque, it is nothing but product of force into perpendicular distance. Due to which I have written for this is deflecting torque due to the one small spheres and big spheres, due to which for the wooden plank, so I write F into L. And this for the twisting couple arises due to the string, and due to which we get this is C into theta. What is this C? C is nothing but couple, restoring couple. It is always constant, and this constant can be represented by like this, because the spring will be having, or all elastic metals will have spring constants, and therefore that you can also represent by C, nothing but K, where you can also get like this. Okay, by calculating. Or sometimes if you know the standard value, you can substitute easily the spring constant here. Nothing but this is restoring couple. I said theta, that theta is accurately measured by using the one Lampant scale arrangement. This you learn in your higher classes, how this Lampant scale arrangement is there to determine this theta. Okay, and after finding this, by equating this equation, you get this, and in this I have given some values, and by using these conditions, finally he also observed the deflecting couple, nothing but deflecting couple, nothing but deflecting torque will rotating. This also rotates up to what the time it will be rotating. When will attain equilibrium means it will be rotating up to the 4 millimeter. Up to the 4 millimeter, due to which this will attain into equilibrium. So whenever it attains equilibrium, this is the one condition you can remember. Up to 4 millimeter will be rotating, due to which you get this. Using all this condition, finally arrives. Okay, this is what you have to remember for the Henry Cavendish experiment, where you are learning the determination of universal law of gravitation. So after finding all this, finally it has already proved in the year 1942, where the modified form of that, where you can also observe this experimentally it was correct. Hope you have understood all these things correctly. So please be aware of this experiment. Very simple experiment, and also arrangement is also very simple. Okay, right. Let me just stop this experiment. Now let me go for the next part. I'll just rub this board. Okay. Now one more point I have to say here. All these days you have learned universal law of gravitation that you have learned. What is the need to learn these things? How it is useful in physics? What are the evidences which support in the one Newton's law of gravitation? Let me highlight you. You feel very that is subject is very easy. At the same time, you will enjoy the physics. How you come across in our, that is the one supports the physics, where you come across different aspects you come across in physics. Okay, let me tell you the evidences. Let me give some evidence to support, the Newton's law of gravitation. Let me give some evidence. If I say as it is, you will never feel it is correct. But if you come across some evidences, you feel how important it is in physics. Okay. The first point I want to say, where you already know in the earlier class, where the sun is at the center, all the planets are revolving around the earth. That is nothing but, so all the planets are revolving around the sun. I am very sorry. Sun is at the center, the earth is revolving around the sun. This we know in the earlier class. Similarly, other than earth, you can also explain regarding the sun and the earth. One more point I can say, moon is revolving around the earth. So all these concepts can be explained with the help of Newton's law of gravitation. So first I can say the rotation of the sun and earth, and earth and moon. So the rotation of earth, and that is nothing but the sun is at the center, you know, and earth is revolving around this. It is at one of the four sides and our earth is revolving. Similarly, this concept can be explained for the one moon is revolving around the earth. This explains the first concept, where it explains that supports the Newton's law of gravitation. So this supports the one with the help of Newton's law. With the help of Newton's law of gravitation, we are able to explain this. What is the second point? You have seen the tides in ocean. Tides you have seen in ocean, and that also supports the one, the tides, the formation of tides. You can say formation of tides in oceans. Formation of tides in oceans will support, because because of the help of Newton's law of gravitation, today we are able to say the formation of tides in oceans, where there is a relation between the one sea water and the one moon, because these tides will be due to what means there is an attraction between moon and the one sea water, due to the attraction between moon and the sea water, therefore you observe the one tides in oceans. Right? What's the third point means? One more point you can observe. Today, the time period of lunar, that is nothing but the time which can be calculated for lunar and solar eclipse. Lunar and solar eclipses. Eclipses can be accurately calculated by the of gravitation. So the time, whatever you are explaining, the lunar eclipse will occur, solar eclipse will occur, and that time can be accurately calculated. This can be accurately calculated with the help of, by the help of Newton's law of gravitation. This can be accurately calculated. Okay, and one more point I can say here, where you have seen the time along with the formation of tides, right? Today you are observing the rotation of the nothing but the revolution of the satellites around the or maybe around any of the planets. The revolution of the satellites, nothing but the artificial satellites, you can say. So artificial satellites which are revolving around any of the planets, artificial satellites which are revolving around any of the planet can be accurately calculated. Can be accurately calculated with the help of Newton's law of gravitation. One more point I want to say here, where you are ready to explain acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration, this you will come across in the next coming days. I will tell you. At present, you just remember acceleration due to gravity of Earth. That is, you are representing by small g. Varies from place to place. So varies from place to place. What do you mean by this? You can also learn how g varies from place to place. When you observe the Earth, what will be exactly on the surface of the Earth, the g value? When you go above the surface of the Earth, what happens to g? When you go below the surface of the Earth, what happens to g? All these conditions can be explained when you are above the surface, below the surface, or on the surface of the Earth. So acceleration due to gravity, and also it varies from place to place. That can be explained by the help of Newton's law of gravitation. So please observe. So all these days we have learned universal law of gravitation, and this universal law of gravitation which support, that is evidences which support this law. What are the evidences you come across in your physics means? The first point you can remember, Earth revolves around the sun. So Earth revolves around the sun, and maybe the moon revolves around the Earth can be explained with the help of Newton's law of gravitation. What's the second point? You can also observe the formation of tides in oceans. That explains nothing but always there is a force of attraction between moon and sea water. There rises a force of attraction between moon and sea water, due to which you can observe the formation of tides in ocean. That concepts can be clearly explained by the help of Newton's law of gravitation. Okay, the next one, you can also observe the lunar eclipse and solar eclipse in this universe, where you observe lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. The time can be calculated. The time period can be calculated. At what time the lunar and solar eclipse will be arrived, and that can be accurately calculated by the help of Newton's law of gravitation. One more point I can say, just now I said the Earth is revolving around the sun. Similarly, satellites will be revolving around any planet, maybe around the Earth or any other planet. That artificial satellites, particularly those artificial satellites, can be explained accurately. The calculation point, everything can be calculated accurately with the help of Newton's law of gravitation. Okay. And finally, one more point I said, where acceleration due to gravity, nothing but represented by small g, that also can be explained by the help of Newton's law of gravitation. How g varies, small g varies from place to place. That you learn in the next coming days class. I'll explain first acceleration due to gravity, and then I'll explain how it varies from place to place, all those things. So all these will support the Newton's law of gravitation. So you feel very happy to learn the Newton's law of gravitation, because these are the evidences which support the Newton's law of gravitation. So please be aware, in physics, every experimental evidences will prove the one thing which will be accurate in physics. You will never say the one approximate things in physics, due to which today you are able to learn that one, these are the one law which can support the one Newton's law of gravitation. So all these evidences will prove how it is useful to explain Newton's law of gravitation in physics. So you should be very grateful to Newton, where he has explained the one famous law, universal law of gravitation, due to which we are able to learn all these things in physics. Okay, very good. Right now, these are the evidences. Now one more point I want to say, the characteristics. And these characteristics, what are the one characteristics you come across under the one gravitational force, right? I said about earlier days, gravitation, there is a force of attraction, due to which there rises a gravitational force. So let me tell you how this explains under the one, what are the special characteristics as nothing but this capital G, where universal gravitational constant, what are the special characteristics you have, and that let me highlight one by one. Okay, so let me start the next part. Let me just tell you the important facts which we come across. Important facts about E1 G, nothing but universal gravitational. Let me just write gravitational force. Gravitational force. What are the important facts you come across? Let me highlight one by one. Already in the previous class I said very important concept this chapter, because whatever you learn this in first year, this is the basic concept you learn. That will be useful in all fields in physics, particularly you can also compare for the electrostatics in the second year. Okay, let me highlight one by one wherever it comes across. What's the first point means, this gravitational force will be explained where it is nothing but it explains about this gravitational force is independent of the intervening medium. This gravitational force is independent of the intervening medium. What do you mean by this means? Please observe. Earlier class I have taken two masses, and these two masses are separated by some distance, that is nothing but r. You have observed. Here there arises a force of attraction between these two masses, right? Now using this, if I place a medium between them, it is independent. What I mean by this means, suppose if I take two masses which are separated by some distance, let me say in between these two masses have placed air or vacuum, or I can say air or vacuum. This is the medium have filled in between these two. First point. If I just take one more, where I take these two masses separated by some medium, let me say the medium in between this is maybe the one water. Maybe I can take oil, water, oil, or anything, whatever you take in this between them. So this will never affect the gravitational force. Even these two masses, whenever they placed in in air medium and vacuum medium, whatever the force it has, that will be same. Similarly, if I replace in between those two masses, maybe some water, maybe some oil or anything, whatever you place in between them, other than this water, oil, whatever you can place, even then that medium will never affect these two masses. Hence I say it is independent of the medium. This is one point you have to remember, but this will never happen in electrostatics. There in the next year you learn electrostatics. If I take two charges which are placed at some distance apart, where if I take the one distance r, if these two charges are placed in air or vacuum, it will have some effect. Similarly, when it is placed in other medium like water, oil or whatever you place, in between them, again it will change. So that will change in electrostatics, but not, or even if you come across magnetostatics also it will change, but that will never affect this in the one gravitational force. So it is independent of the intervening medium. This is what you have to remember, the first point. Okay, what's the second point you can say here? This gravitational force is obeying. Yesterday we have learned this gravitational force obeys the action-reaction pair. Action-reaction pair, I said. What do you mean by this? This explains the one, it obeys Newton's third law of motion. It obeys Newton's third law of motion. So in the previous class we have derived an expression where we have proved if this is F12 force and this will be F21 force, which is exactly, this is action, this becomes a reaction. So what does it explain? It explains action-reaction pair, where you can also say gravitational force obeys, that is gravitational force obeys nothing but which is action-reaction pair, where it obeys Newton's third law. This is what you have observed and the previous class derivation. So I have shown only 2 points. Let me stop today. The remaining I will explain. Many points are there that cannot be completed within this period. So I will highlight this in the next class. Okay, thank you.